Hey champions! Today we are solving the A-level Edexcel IT Unit 3 paper. But wait, before you run away thinking it's boring, no. I'm going to explain everything with fun stories, real life examples, and a little bit of teacher's comedy. And yes, Google Drive link for the question paper and marking scheme is added in the description. Let's make exam prep fun. Let's go. Manufacturers use IT systems to create new products. Project managers use many tools such as SMART, smart targets, to do their jobs. Name two other tools that are used in project management. Alright, imagine you are a project manager of a robot building team. You have got deadlines, you got confused with team members, and one friend who keeps asking, Bro, do we really need to plan? Yes, that's why project manager use tools. Think of a bigger plans, like they can use Gantt chart, your project timeline superhero, critical path analysis shows which task must not be delayed. PERT charts, precedent tables, Kanban boards, so you can pick any two of them. State the meaning of the A in SMART targets. A is nothing but it's achievable, or you can also call it as attainable. Because setting impossible goals is like saying, I will finish the whole syllabus in one night. No, you won't. Give one reason for using SMART targets to define the project outcomes. It is to clearly define the success so everyone knows the exact goal and you can track progress easily. Complete the diagram to show the steps of the waterfall method of system development. The first and last steps are shown for you. So, the first step is requirements and analysis, and the last step is maintenance. So, now imagine building that robot I mentioned earlier using the waterfall method. No going back, no shortcuts. Just like making Maggie, water first, then masala. You cannot reverse it. So, here are the steps in order. The first one is requirement and analysis. The second one would be design. Once you get the requirement, you design it. After designing, you implement it. After implementation, you test it. So, testing. Or you can also do the debugging. Debugging is rectifying the errors. After that, you install it. Then after installation, you go for maintenance. That's your waterfall method. A team of developers is working on a new software product. The team uses computers on a local network to develop the product. However, the finished product will be installed and run on a cloud service. Explain one advantage of using containerization to deploy the finished product to the cloud. So now imagine your team builds software on their laptops, but the final app will run on the cloud servers. Problem is, it works on my system. So for that, the solution is what? Containerization. So now what exactly is this containerization? It is basically a process of an application code with all its dependencies such as libraries and configuration files into single lightweight of package called container. So this container will basically allow the application to run consistently and reliably across the different environments. So now we need to talk about the advantage of this. So it includes all these dependencies and runtime environment inside one container. So the software runs exactly the same or any other cloud server. So no new bug, no surprises. It's like sending food in a tiffin, perfect condition everywhere. An aeroplane manufacturer is considering developing a virtual reality flight trainer for its aeroplanes. Discuss the benefits and drawback of using virtual reality in the flight trainer. So imagine training pilots using VR. No crashing real planes, no fuel cost. You can practice storms, engine failures, anything. So we need to talk about the benefits of this as well as the drawbacks. So the benefits is it's a safe practice for dangerous scenarios. No risk to real planes. It can simulate airports worldwide. No travel cost. It's reusable and customizable. So, what are the drawbacks? It's very expensive to build, requires expert hardware plus the software, can't fully replicate real feel, that G force, etc., all those things. VR can cause dizziness. So, these are the drawbacks. So, this is a great question, great marks opportunity. So, don't leave it, okay? Okay, champs. Now let's jump to question 2A, one of the easiest one mark question in entire paper. But the secret is most students overthink it. Don't. The examiner is literally handing you this mark if you write any valid benefit of normalization. Retail stores use databases. Normalizing a relational database reduces data redundancy because it removes duplicate data. Explain one other benefit of normalizing a relational database. The examiner are literally handing you this mark if you write any valid benefit of normalization. Picture this. You are working at the holiday resort database and a customer changes their phone number. If your database is not normalized, you will have that phone number copied in 5 different tables. And guess what? You will have to update it manually 5 times. I bet you will miss at least one. I would. And that's how mistakes happen. But with normalization, one clean update and boom, the whole database updates correctly everywhere. No mismatched information. No, why is the customer 25 years old in this table but 26 in another? That benefit has a name. That is data consistency. So the answer is students. Listen carefully. For this question, you don't need to write big paragraphs or technical definitions. The marking scheme only wants one simple line. If your wording isn't perfect, if the idea is correct, you will get full marks. Alright, that's question 2 done. 2 mark in the pocket. Let's keep collecting marks like we are collecting bonus coins in Mario. A water sports stores rent cannons, paddle boards, and kayaks to customers. The store uses a database. The database has rules to ensure that any data entered is valid. Complete the table to name the type of validation used to identify invalid data. Alright, superheroes. Imagine you're running a water adventure rental shop. People walk in to rent kayaks, paddle boats, fishing canoes, but some customer try to do nonsense. A customer walks to your counter and writes the equipment name as nothing, blank, empty, and then just an air. You go, sir, what do you want to rent? Fresh air? That's why we use a presence check. It makes sure the field is not left blank. Now, someone wants to rent a paddle board for 30 hours. Sir, are you going on an international journey with this paddle boat? But the shop only allows 1 to 24 hours. So we use a range check for this. Students, listen carefully. This is one of the most generously marked questions in the paper. The examiners only check, did you identify the correct type of validation? You don't need big explanation. You don't need any paragraphs. One correct item, full marks. The water sports equipment rented to customers is regularly inspected by qualified technicians. Complete the diagram to show a logical model of the database. You must include two additional entities, four relationships, and relationship types. So the entities are equipment, customer, and technician. Okay, Thames. Now we enter the land of ERDs. But don't worry, this is not scary. It's actually 5 free marks waiting for you. Let's imagine a small adventure rental business we have customers, equipment, technician, rental records, inspection records. We already have equipment, customer, and technician, so we need the rental records and inspection records. Imagine little David comes to rent a kayak. He's one customer. He can rent many pieces of equipment over the year. So that's one to many relationship from customer to rental. So many you have to define it like this. Your equipment, let's say paddleboard, can be rented by many customers across different dates. So equipment to rental is one to many. Your technician James inspect many equipments. So one technician to many. So now you have one equipment, but you can have many inspection on the same equipment. So that's one to many. Students, trust me, for ERD questions, examiners don't want fancy diagrams. They don't want perfect diamonds or perfect crow's feet. If you only remember the idea and draw it in a simple line, you still get full marks. ERD questions are pure gift, so grab these marks with confidence. Fantastic! You just secured 6 marks easily. Encryption is used to protect data that is being transmitted over the internet. One type of encryption relies on a certificate. A certificate includes general items such as date of issue. Give one non-general item found in the certificate. Alright, champs. Imagine you are entering a super secured building. At the door, the guard asks, ID please. Website do the same thing. They show their digital certificate, their online ID card. Now, what's inside this certificate? It's a public key of the owner. It's a owner's identity. It's a issuer's identity. The digital signature of the certificate authority, the serial number, the expiry date. So, the important thing is the marking scheme accepts only one. So, it's for 1 mark, so we'll go for 1. I can give you another example for this. Imagine you get a parcel from Amazon. You want to know who sent it, is it genuine, whether does the coupon inside expire, what is the unique tracking code. A digital certificate works exactly like that. Describe the role of the certificate authority in the use of certificate based encryption. So now let's talk about the VIP security guard of the internet, the certificate authority, also known as the CA. So what does this CA do? It issues the certificate. It verifies the identity before issuing the certificate, maintains a list of issued certificate, maintains a list of revoked or expired certificates, determines if a certificate is valid or authentic. So now you can write any 2 points from this. I will give you another example. A certificate authority is like a passport office. You applied, you check for your identity, they issue the passport, they keep the records, and then they cancel the old ones. If you explain it with this thought in your mind, you cannot get this wrong. Symmetric and asymmetric are two types of encryption. Alice sends a message to Bob using symmetric encryption. Bob sends a message to Alice using asymmetric encryption. Complete the diagram to show the steps required for the messages to be exchanged. Must include plain text, ciphertext, and types of keys. Okay, students, this is the question where we can collect marks like a legend. Masking gives 1 mark for almost every correct label. So even if your drawing is ugly, even if your lines are not straight, as long as the labels and orders are correct, you will get marks. Imagine Alice wants to send Bob a love letter, but she doesn't want hackers to read it. So this love letter is nothing but a plain text. Alice and Bob share one secret key, like the shared diary key. She locks a message with that key. Bob opens it with the same key. Simple and fast. And after encrypted using shared key, then you have to go for the ciphertext. So this is symmetric encryption, the description happens using the same shared key. Once the description happens, again it is converted back to the plain text. Then Bob receives it. So now Bob is having the plain text. This time Bob has two keys. One public, everyone can see it. One private, kept hidden like a treasure. Alice uses Bob's public key to lock the message, but only Bob's private key can unlock it. Even if hackers grabs the message without the private key, it's useless. Encryption is done using Alice's public key. Then we need to cipher the text. So decryption happens with Alice's private key. And then once the description is done, you will get the plain text. Even if your diagram is not perfect, as long as arrows and labels make sense, examiners must award marks. For example, if you forget to draw the boxes but write public key you used to encrypt, you get the marks. If you label Bob decrypts using the same key, marks is still awarded. Alright champs, we are heading into the question 4. A retailer has stores all over the country. The retailer has a customer loyalty scheme. Customer data is stored on the Customer Relationship Management CRM system. Figure 1 shows some of the fees using CRM system. The customer loyalty scheme could use field 1 to 3 to identify a customer favorite items so that the customer can be sent a voucher. Explain one other way the customer service department could use 2 of the other fields used in the CRM system. You must include the field numbers in your explanation. So this is about the customer service. This is where students need during exams, but not you, because we make everything fun and easy. Let's imagine a company looking at the call records. How long customer waited, whether they reached an agent, whether their issues was resolved. So, and now the question asks, how can we use two fields to help customer service? First, you have to name the fields and then explain how they help. So now let us look at the CRM here. So now field 1 and 2 could be used to identify lapsed customer. So the company can contact them with offers or some retention strategies. Field 1, that is customer number. Field 7, length of the time waiting in customer service phone queue. So this can track which customer are waiting longest. So agents can prioritize these calls. Field 1 again, that is customer number, and field 6, date of last call to customer service phone line. Show customer who attempted to contact the company. So managers can assign more agents during these times. So you can pick any one. Explain one way that the marketing department could use three of the fields used in the CRM system. You must include the field numbers in your explanation. Now we move to marketing. Imagine customers getting too many emails from you, or sometimes no emails at all. How do you balance this? By analyzing the fields in the marketing database. Let's go back to your CRM over here. When you look at field 1, 4, and 5, 1 is customer number, 4 is code of last promotional email sent, 5th is code of last promotional postal brochure sent. Could synchronize marketing activities. This avoids sending duplicate offers. Field 1, 2, and 3. 1 is customer number, 2 is date of last store visit, 3 is products bought in the last visit. This will help to identify customers who haven't visited the stores recently. So the company can send tailored ads to bring them back. Again, the same fields, you can also use it for upselling or cross-selling. So the customers get relevant product recommendations. So you can pick any three of them. You can pick any one of them and then you are good to go. The retailer plans to replace its existing IT systems. The systems being replaced are accounting, record keeping, purchasing, and electronic point of sale. The retailer is planning ways to make the changeover from existing systems to the new systems. Complete the table to give the type of changeover method in each case. So, this is the longest question, but also the easiest if you know the structure. 4 scenarios are given and you must match them too. So the first one is the accountants at every retail store will use both the existing accounting software and the new accounting software for the next month. So now here they are using both the systems for the month. In this case, the changeover method will be parallel. Head office will switch the record it holds for the stores in Liverpool to the new systems and leave the records of the other stores on the existing system. It will switch the records to the other stores to the new system when the new system is working correctly. So switching one branch first. So in those cases, this is pilot method. This parallel is like using your old phone and your new phone together. Pilot is like giving one kid in class a new toy to test it. The retail stores will use the new electronic point of sale machines but will continue to use the existing purchasing system for another 3 months. So this is like switching part by part, which we call it as phased. So phased is like switching apps slowly. Next, the purchasing department at head office will close for a week so that the existing software is removed and the new software is installed on all computers in the department at the same time. This is like removing old systems instantly. So we call this as direct. Direct is like throwing your old phone in the dustbin and hopping the new one that works. Don't overthink. The wordings already tells you the method. Just read carefully and you will score all 4 marks easily. The retailer is reviewing its IT governance and policies, discuss the need for the features of risk management and disaster recovery policies. So this is like a longest question, but also the easiest if you know the structure. Imagine your school has an IT lab. Risk management is what you do before a disaster, checking wires, antivirus, rules, and everything. Disaster recovery is what you do after the disaster, that is, restoring files, replacing computers, all these things. So, the risk management is the ongoing process of identifying, assessing, and monitoring the potential threats that could affect an organization data, assets, or systems. And this also includes listing possibilities, types of risk, categorizing them as low, medium, high, acceptable, or unacceptable, and deciding how these threats will be monitored. This also outlines the response actions to each risk and identify who is responsible for managing them. On the other hand, disaster recovery is the set of procedures an organization follow after a major incident has occurred, such as natural disasters, system failures, or malicious attacks. This includes the policy making regular backups, storing those backups offsite, and having a clear procedure for restoring data when needed. It also sets out how new equipment and facilities can be obtained if the systems are damaged and identifies a key staff members for their responsible during the recovery process. Students, Don't be scared of 6 marks question. Examiners look for clear structure, balanced explanation, and simple language. You don't need perfect English, you don't need fancy terms, just explain both sides fairly. And the level 3 is yours.
Alright, legends, let's go to the next question. A store seller items used by swimmers. The store currently keeps records of sales in a spreadsheet. This figure will show some of the most recent orders. Manufacturers are listed in brackets in the stock bought column. Okay, so in this column, the manufacturers have been listed. So we have orders here, then we have stock bought, then we have date, and then we have customers. So this is the details about this figure. Now the store wants to create a database to store the data. So this is the big database design question. This is where students either panic or they score a clean 12 out of 12 like champions. So now here let's imagine we are running a shop that sells items. Every order has a customer, a date, one or more items, and each item comes from the manufacturer. So our job is to break this into a neat tables using normalization. And hey, good news, the examiner already tells us what they want. So first table we will be creating is the order table. So now over here, so this is where we store details about the order. Not the item, just the order itself. So we add order ID, that is this one, date of the order, and then customer ID as a foreign key. Let's create that table. So I will name it as table order. In this table, we are adding the order ID. This order ID, we will consider it as a primary key. So primary key has to be underlined. Then we will take the date of order and then customer ID as a foreign key. So foreign keys has to be denoted with asterisk. Yes. So this is our table order. So this will give us 5 marks. How 5 marks? Order ID, date and customer ID for defining that. You will get 3 marks. And then order ID defining it as a primary key and customer ID defining it as a foreign key. You will be getting total 5 marks. The moment an order can contain multiple products, we need a list of items inside each order. So for that we will be creating the table item. In this table, we'll add the order ID, we'll consider it as a foreign key. Then we will take up the item number. Then we'll take up the item number as a part of the primary key. And then we can take a stock ID which will consider it as a foreign key. And then what's the quantity? How much quantity is being ordered? So let's create that. This will consider it as a foreign key where we'll define it as star. As it is a primary key, we'll underline it. Then we'll take up the item number. So item number will consider it as a primary key, so it has to be underlined. And then stock ID. Stock ID is a foreign key, denote it with the asterisk. And then quantity. So this is our item table. So order ID, item number, stock ID, quantity. For defining this you will be getting 4 marks. And then for defining the order ID as a primary key and the foreign key you will be getting 2 marks. And for defining this as item number you will be getting 1 mark. And for defining this as a foreign key you will be getting 1 marks. So this table is normalized. Students, this question is a marks festival. Every correct table is equal to marks. Every correct key is equal to marks. So even if your naming is different, examiners will accept it. You don't need paragraphs, you don't need any explanation. Just write correct tables, primary keys, and foreign keys. You will walk out with full 12 marks. Alright, champions, we have reached question 6, the final boss of this exam, and honestly, it's not even a boss, it's more like a friendly NPC giving you free XP points. These marks are easy if you just understand the idea. A conference center is located in a big city. It has meeting rooms, retail space, a hotel, and an entertainment complex that includes a cinema and a bowling alley. Visitors to the centers have access to information points to find their way around the conference center. Each information point has a display, a keyboard, and a mouse. Users can search for place names, product types, and other amenities. Draw a diagram in a space provided on the next page to show a suitable interface design for an information point. So you must include at least two windows, at least one icon, at least one menu, one pointer, labels to identify a window, an icon, a menu, and a pointer. Do not indicate colors or fonts. So we'll draw basically a window that is for searching the places. This is the window, and then we'll have a menu like file, edit, and help. This is our menu, and then we can have an icon like a map, and then I will draw a mouse pointer which is directing to that. Okay, this is our first window, and then we'll draw another window that will help us to get the details of cinema's opening times. So I will name this window as details. If you want, you can add the menus, or else I'll add just some text like cinema. So now let's label this. So these both things we call it as window. I'll just write as window, and this is the menu, this is the icon, and this is the pointer. So let's check the question. At least two windows, yes, we drew two windows, and then at least one icon, we do have an icon, one menu is there, one pointer is there, labels to identify the window, an icon, a menu, and the pointer. We did all of these things that will help us to search place names, product types, and other amenities if needed. So make sure, if you want, you can draw it in your way, but make sure these are the requirements which is satisfying these things. So based upon that, you draw it, you will get a good marks. The conference center's hotel allow guests to access movies, sports, and their accounts using the TV and the remote control in their rooms. So this figure shows designed for three of the required screens: movies, sports, and accounts. Then we have another screen here. Okay, three screens are there. Next, evaluate the design with respect to four rules of interface design. You should consider rule 1, that is strive for consistency, rule 2, seek universal usability, rule 3, offer informative feedback, rule 4, permit essay reversal of actions for the users. This question is so exam friendly, it should come with a free pack of biscuits. Now we are looking at the hotel TV system at the conference center. Guest like kids, parents, business travels use the remote control to access movies, sports, and their account details. The exam gives you three screens in figure 3. And honestly, the design looks like three different people worked on it who never spoke to each other. Now, our job is to evaluate these screens using the four rules of interface design. This is where the marks rain like monsoon showers. Rule 1, that is strive for consistency. So, consistency is like matching socks. Nobody notices when it's right, but everyone notices when it's wrong. Check the screens. So here font change between the screens. Fonts keeps on changing. Font sizes are random. This back and next buttons are in different positions. Red text here, green text there, and suddenly a 3D font. It's like the UI couldn't make up its mind. So you say the design breaks the consistency because fonts, colors, and button positions are not uniform across the screens. Boom, marks. So let's write about the rule 1. You can elaborate it and write it in a bullet points, even that's okay. If you want to write it in this way, even that's okay. Next thing is about the rule 2, that is seek universal usability. Here's where you shine by showing empathy for all users, especially kids and older guests. Red plus green combinations. Bad for colorblind users. Tiny text that is difficult for elderly or low vision users. Fancy 3D fonts, but they're cute for kids. Yes. Accessible for everyone? Nope. This tells the examiner you understand the accessibility. Full marks is incoming. Rule 3, that's offer informative feedback. So, in the screens, the Find a Movie search box shows characters remaining. That's one good example. But otherwise, no message when user clicks the wrong place, no confirmation when navigating, no feedback for errors, no hints for what each option does. So, the design only offers feedback in one place. Elsewhere, the user is left guessing. So, this one is easy marks. Next is rule 4, permit easy reversal of actions for the users. This rule is about the oops moments. Everyone needs a quick undo. So what we have the back button on the account screen, a backspace button when typing the movie name. What's missing is no universal back button on every screen, no option to cancel, no warning before leaving a page. So the system has limited reversal options. Improvements are needed to help users to recover from their mistakes. So overall, the design does not meet the four interface rules. It lacks consistency, it lacks accessibility, feedback, and easy reversal. With improvements, it could be better, um, become a much more user friendly system. This ties everything together and nails the top band criteria. You have to write the conclusion also. These 12 marks evaluation questions look scary, but they are honestly formula based. You follow the four rules, you score. No storytelling is needed, no fancy example, just clear the points and the reasons. You got this. These marks are literally waiting for you to collect them. All right. Before we wrap up, listen to me just for a moment. You're capable of scoring high, you're capable of improving, and you are absolutely capable of cracking these ICT exams with confidence. Every single concept we covered today, you can master it with practice, the right guidance, and a bit of patience with yourself. Don't let marks scare you. They are just stepping stones and you're already walking past them. And remember, you don't have to prepare alone. If you feel like you need personal guidance, someone to correct your answer, someone to explain topics in simple, friendly ways, or someone to help you build exam confidence, I'm right here. We offer one to one online classes completely personalized for your pace, your strengths, and your goals. If you want to join, the registration link is in the description. Just click it, fill it, and you're in. And hey, do me a favor before you go. Follow the channel, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss the next exam prep video. I promise we are building something amazing here, and I would love for you to be the part of it. Keep learning, keep believing, and I'll see you in the next session. Take care.